everybody, welcome back to Undermine. It's been a little bit of a while, and that very distinctive noise that you can hear beneath me is a new NPC here in Ravinetown, so let's go take a look at him, because, really, this guy. There he is. This is Hubris, the large slime who was delivered to me. People around here come up with the best jokes, honestly. But, Hubris needs a home. And I also have made a home for Romero. So it's kind of like shop's front, I guess. You have a little, lovely cake, Romero. Doesn't have very much over here, but was moved in very recently. I like the style here. It's low, it's short, it's small, it's cramped, but it kind of works. Especially down here. If I could make these walls indented, I totally would, but alas, I can't do that because we don't have any mods on the server to add that. We also have a zombie pigman resident by the name of Wilfred Pigley. And we're still lacking... we're still lacking a Savini, but maybe we'll hopefully find one before the map changes. Yeah. But, yeah, so that's my job today. I'm going to be building homes down here so that things look nicer and prettier and a bit more welcoming for our various guests. And getting this guy out of here whilst I build is probably going to be a problem, so I'm probably going to build his one over here, just so he can watch me do it and whatnot. But the other thing that I have to discuss, I guess, is... Wow, there sure are a lot of you. If we were on the latest versions, I'd be one-hitting an entire group of you, but alas. So that's sort of what I'm talking about, I guess. So, around about September time, I believe, is when Undermine's map will be changing. I have finally nailed down the sequence and the releases of whatnot for when the plot of this particular map finishes, and that will be about a month after the last dwarf is retrieved, which is in September. So, consequently, I'm working on map ideas. There is, for people who are on Undermine, let me just zoom over to this because it'll be a lot faster. Let me see. Right. So, over here, near the entry to the South District, is a book called Map Update Suggestions. There's about 3 pages of suggestions in there right now. Most of them very simplistic. A few of them could be quite interesting. But one that I've sort of come up with on my own so far, and I think has some substantial... Yeah. Hey, remember again. And has substantial merit, I think, is one I posted onto Tumblr a few hours ago. And it's basically called The Spring of Spirits. I was originally going to call it The Soul Well, but then I realized that I live with someone who plays World of Warcraft, and that is unfortunately a name that they use in there. Here. Let's see, what's a good, like, aesthetic for a zombie pigman? I would say dark oak, but I don't actually have any dark oak. But, coal blocks would be good, but we don't have very many of them. Ooh, actually, redstone would be nice. We wouldn't be able to do very much, but redstone could be a nice floor material. Yeah, let's go with that. That seems like a nice idea. Okay, so the first start of it is that it's a sky map, which is something that people aren't necessarily in favor of around here. And I can kind of understand that. Because skyblocks have been utterly done to death, and I can understand that no one, like, particularly wants to see an entire server that's just a skyblock, especially if it's one skyblock. Like, there are maps that'll do multiple people for a given skyblocks, but you don't really want to see that very much. And so I just realized some clay would be good, but I don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't think I have any clay. I'm about to redecorate this guy's house when I'm done building it. No, I don't have... I have some hardened clay. I was thinking of getting some, like, some red stained clay, but I don't think I have any. Oh well. So, yeah, I'll just start digging this out and we'll just time lapse later. So, it's a sky map, but it's a Skylands map, which means big islands. Like, I'm thinking at minimum, more or less the size of the typical end island on average. So, big, like, you're not likely to fall off them unless you're really close to the edge. Oop, that's weird. Oh, that's chunks rendering. Okay. And obviously you have to spawn in via, like, a spawn point which is relatively protected, so you can't, like, dig out blocks. But then the question becomes, if the server is fresh, the map is fresh, and no one has any blocks, then how are you able to actually get from one island to the next? Because there's going to be multiples, obviously. Might be a few smaller ones, but mostly it'll be big ones. And I came up with an idea that I think would be really freaking interesting. Oh, hey, some redstone. Hey. How fortuitous, actually. Actually, if I silk touch some redstone around it, that'd be pretty cool. So the Soul Well, as it was originally called, the Spring of Spirits, gives you two attributes. The first, I say attributes now actually become a thing inside Minecraft, gives you two scores. The first of which is called Spiriting, which is just used as a boolean to determine who gets certain effects. And the second is called Spirit. And if you hang around inside the waters of the Spring of Souls for a while, not like too terribly long, but it won't give you, it's not like a great place to build up spirit, but you will get some spirit. A significant volume of spirit at that. Enough more or less to ensure that you can get to other islands safely. How does spirit do that? If you use a bottle, if you chuck a bottle, an empty bottle, into the spring water, then it becomes a tonic of etherealness. I've gone through like different names. At least one of them was definitely a Dark Souls name. So can't quite remember what I called it most recently in my ideas. And drinking that gives you a few seconds, about 5, of the bad luck potion effect, which is currently unobtainable otherwise. Command blocks can therefore use it as a very easy way of telling who is drinking that particular potion. So then you get put into spectator mode, and over time your spirit decreases. When it hits 0, you go back into survival mode. And I thought that was a really interesting idea. So you've got, firstly, the lore inherent in that is pretty amazing. But also, it gives us whole new opportunities for gameplay. So the first and obvious one is you can fly through the world and scout out locations easily, as long as you can find some safe harbour to land in when you're drained of all of your spirit eventually. Does this want to be taller? How tall is... 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, so yeah, this one be taller. Not by very much, but taller. So you can scout through the world, find anything you want, and then it also lets you teleport to anybody who is in a given zone, so you could use it to, you can have various people actually serving as scouts, or teleport waypoints, if you will, for others, like, in their group. And if somebody dies, they can spirit and teleport straight to whomever is nearest, be it a party member or somebody else. And just, like, the possibilities there are wonderful, wonderful. Now, I did think that there might be some areas that you can't spirit into, and these would probably be dungeons, because I've been watching Vex of Super Hostile notoriety do a bunch of work on his Super Hostile Online Patreon server, and he uses some really interesting stuff on that, and I like it, and I want to try some of it myself. And one of the things he does is he has dungeons that can regenerate over time. Because one of the problems that you have to consider when you're building any map with potentially, like, dangerous falls, like a Skylands map, is that as creepers go off, as people mine stuff out, then newer players can't really get anything. They can't get a hold of the precious materials they need. And this is actually a problem here on Undermine right now, because we have basically deprived the entire area around spawn for quite a ways of all of the actual materials. So I think there would be a system at spawn that would periodically clone a fresh copy of certain islands onto them, so that they had all of their fresh materials, so that they were undamaged, so that the next person that comes along can take advantage of those resources. And that way, people don't have to worry about finding resources on these islands as much, because they'll come back whenever they find them, and they'll come back wherever they find them as well. Go. There we go. And let's also just jam in a bunch of cobble, because I don't need it. A bunch of other stuff as well. Oh yes, my stun baton. Hehe. Let's put them through newspaper. Anything else I need to get rid of? The rails. Rails can probably go. Okay. So yeah, dungeons would be a really cool thing to try out, and I haven't had a chance to do that before, and yes, Hubris, you'll get your turn eventually. Hubris. Oh, and this quick pick of demolition is going away quickly. Ooh. Yeah, you might be able to, like, trade spirit for other things, you might be able to, and you'll definitely be able to get it from other places than just the spring, so you don't have to come all the way back to spawn to get it. Let's see, I don't have any craft stuff on me, but let's see if I may just borrow this, please. Thank you. So you might be able to trade it for other stuff, so you might be able to get certain items. Maybe there'll even be an item whose specific function is that you chuck it and it spawns, like, some dirt around it, so you can make your own islands or whatever. And let me see, what else? What else did I think about this particular map? Having, like, self-regenerating islands as well as dungeons would be really cool. And having this whole system where you don't need necessarily to build a bridge, but of course once you're in spectator mode you have no physical presence, you can't take any actions. Is this big enough? Does this seem about the right size? It's a bit bigger than this one actually, I think, so yeah. I think that'll do. And I don't know, it's a really interesting idea. I gather there are people who aren't particularly fond of skyblock maps, and again, that's understandable. I've had one person tell me on Tumblr that their main real issue with it is that they're afraid of heights. They get, like, really bad panic attacks if there's, like, a good chance of them falling. I can understand that. I can absolutely understand that. I have issues with heights myself, actually. Okay, so we want to do that, and I don't have any lumber on me, so I'm gonna have to keep borrowing your crafting table. Sorry, Romero. There we go. Let's put it there. Okay. But yes, if anybody on Undermine is watching, and I'm fairly certain at least a few of you are, then you can check out the book over there, and proffer your suggestions for what the next map should be. But I am going to get to work building a bunch of rather nice looking houses. So, with that in mind, enjoy the time lapse. See you in a moment. Right, folks, hope you all enjoyed that. So, along our little boulevard, the bottom of Ravinetown, where I am continually surrounded by people, we've got Romero's place, which we've already seen, which looks pretty nice and has some very nice cake. And I must have hit a command block somewhere. Do I hit copy? There we go. Okay. There's a few command blocks that do that, just for various maintenance issues. Anyways, so here we have Romero's place, which looks quite nice. And apparently Romero has a pet cat. I don't know where this one came from, but hello, how are you? I have a cat up there in my storage room, actually, that I need to actually tame at some point in the future. And then down over here we have Wilfred Pigley's. Hi. Wilfred Pigley's place. So, hello Wilfred. How are you? He doesn't have much right now. He's just like here, straight from the Narrows, so consequently he doesn't have too much in the way. But you know, he's industrious. He's got his 2 furnaces. And over here we have a currently unoccupied dwelling, but I imagine this will be for a villager, because it looks reasonably like that kind of place that the librarian villagers would live in. Maybe there'd be a cleric in here. I don't know just yet because we haven't got one. But maybe this will end up being Savini's place. Who knows? It looks quite nice, I think. It's the floor design here is somewhat inspired by a number of designs that Efo's Lab has done. Go check his video this out if you don't already. Everywhere includes a actual, like, just a place that I can teleport at least a entity into so they can't escape, so consequently everywhere is neatly organized. And the last place that I've built today is Hubris's little paddling pool. So, hello Hubris. Ow. Mean. I built you this nice place and you're gonna hit me. Okay. These were a pain to get, these blocks, but well, sandstone was easy, because we're surrounded by sand, apparently. But everything else here, pretty straightforward. Ah, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3 people with places to live, and 1 place as yet unoccupied in Ravinetown. Next episode, I believe, we're going to be going over to the arena, because there is a boss that I need to install. Because we have one left over from when Gleeful moved in. And with all of that, I hope you've all enjoyed. It's always nice to get back to Ravinetown, do some just mindless work, more or less. And I shall catch you all the next time.